patience.
It's another episode of No Patience Podcast. Today we got a special guest from Texas, right?
Yes, Texas.
Out of Texas. Trish Day.
Mm-hmm.
For those of them who don't know you, shout out your platforms and any social medias that you want them to find you on and shit like that.
Yeah, so my Instagram is the place where I'm most active on because that's kind of like where I got my start and where I guess got discovered or whatever. And my Instagram is Chilled Tris. And but you can find all this by just searching Tris Day, Tris, and then my last name is Day. And then I have a YouTube also, it's just my name. And I'm on TikTok too, not on there as much, but I'm trying to like stay on all platforms. And I have like a music page on Facebook too. It's just Tris Day as well.
And so tell me about growing up and, as Tris Day, what was your upbringing like and, where you from and, shit like that.
Yeah, so it's actually kind of an interesting story. I feel like I could talk for days. Like I have, like it's such a long story, but I'm back where I grew up now. And I was in Atlanta for 10 years. Since I was 13 to 23, I lived in Atlanta. And that's how I got my like start in music. Also, for the viewers, these are my birds. They're crawling all around me. This is Pickles and this is Phoenix. So they just hang out on me all the time. But okay, back. I just wanted to like just say something about the elephant in the room. Like these are my birds.
Nah, you're good. You're good.
Yeah. But okay, so I grew up in Hudson, Texas. A lot more people know Lufkin, Texas, but they're both really small towns. And so whenever my dad, he didn't lose his job, but like another company called Georgia Pacific bought out Temple Inland, and he is he's just like a data scientist for like companies like that. And so we got moved to Atlanta. And my first thought when I figured this out, like I was like 12 when my parents told me and my brother, I have one brother who's 4 years older than me. And I was like, oh, we're moving to Atlanta. Like I could actually be a singer. Cause I always thought growing up, I was like, if I could just make one song and like I could just get everyone to hear it, like I would be a singer and like everything would work out and it'd be awesome. And so that was like my first thought when they told us we were moving. Of course I was sad about moving, but I was actually more excited about that. But I live back in Lufkin now. I moved back here when I was 23. I'm 25 now. Because my like immediate family, like my grandparents, and like my aunt and uncle, like my grandparents started getting older. My grandpa had passed away and my grandma like has Alzheimer's. And so it was kind of a process, like taking care of her. And then eventually like with the health declining and then like moving her into like, more advanced care. We still visit her every day, but basically we kind of had to like move back because my dad was getting to the age of retirement and my family like needed help here, so that's why we kind of moved back. It just kind of like happened that way. And yeah, I think that's pretty much like the story of like where I grew up. It's a really small town, just by the way. Like I would have to look up the population, but it's like a really small town. Like there's no way I feel like at the time, I felt like there was no way I could have been a musician or done music if I had lived here. But they're trying to get the music community going here. Like I'm involved in like the city and like groups and stuff like that. And I'm wearing my artist friend from around here. His name's Devin Hines. He's really talented. I'm wearing his hoodie. This is his merch. And it's his song Meteor. It's amazing. Y'all should check it out. But yeah, and then also I guess the music side of me growing up, I started playing piano when I was like 2.5. I was really little, and my piano teacher, she didn't like want to teach me because I was little, but I copied everything my brother did in the lessons, and I showed her, and she was like, "Oh, she's really good." So then I took piano lessons from like 2.5 to like 12 before I moved. And I also started playing harp when I was like 11 or 12 because I had loved Florence and the Machine and Florence and the Machine. Yeah.
Florence and the Machine.
Oh, she is my main inspiration. Like, she is why I'm a singer today. And Tom Moth, her harp player, is why I'm a harp player today. And I actually cried for 2 hours the other day because he messaged me back on Instagram saying he would listen to one of my songs. So I'm still waiting for him to listen, but it's like he's my idol. So that was crazy.
So I was actually going to ask you like your musical inspirations and stuff like that. So I'm glad you threw that out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, Florence and the Machine for sure. I love Amy Winehouse. I love her artistry. I love like how she's not afraid to be super vulnerable. Like, my art and what I write is like very, very vulnerable. And it's really scary too, because it's like I'm like putting my diary out there. Like, and this is a small town. Like, everybody knows everybody, and everybody kind of knows my business in some ways. And now I'm just kind of adding fuel to the fire by writing songs about it. But I can't stop. It's like music is just like, it's part of me. It's like an extension of me. And if I stop, it's like cutting off that. And I can't, like, I just can't stop. And I need it to like heal. Because I actually stopped doing music for a couple years. And then I went through like a really hard breakup. And I was like non-functionally depressed for like months. And I was like, screw it, I don't care. Like, and I just started writing again and like putting my focus into music. And then I became passionate about it again. And it like reignited, like it got me out of that depression. You know what I mean? But that's why I love Amy Winehouse, because I feel like she's a very vulnerable artist. I feel like she's misunderstood by a lot of people just because of how everything went at the end. But she couldn't handle the fame. Like, she didn't do it. She didn't want the fame. She didn't even really want it for like millions of fans, but it just came in with the territory of loving, doing something that she loved, which was music. And I relate to that. Like, I'm an introvert, but like I love music. It just comes with the territory, you know?
Yeah. That's lit.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to think of if there's any other artists that I really like. I really like Tame Impala. I would say I sound a lot like Lana Del Rey. And a lot of people that don't know indie artists.
We do, actually.
Yeah. I love her like ethereal sound. But a lot of people that don't know like indie artists, they'll say like, oh, your voice is like Adele. And I'm like, I could see that, you know?
How long have you actually been singing? Because I see you guys song like over like 10 years ago.
Yeah, so I got into the industry when I was like 13 or 14. And my first song, Bones, that was the first song that I like recorded. I've been writing since I was really little. But yeah, it came out when I had just turned 15, I believe. And like, so I kind of blew up on Instagram, like back in the day when I was like 13. My covers went a little bit viral. And my Instagram isn't as popping as it used to be. But now that I'm doing music again, I'm trying to get it like back up there again. But I got signed to a talent agency called Excel Talent when I was 14. And that's how I got like millions of plays on Bones. And I was able to work with like the dancer Ditto. She's like a very famous dancer. She's so sweet. I had dinner with her one time, and you know what's crazy is on my way to that dinner, I was in high school too. So I got out of high school to go like have dinner with like this super famous dancer. And she was dating the guy from that Disney Channel show, the dancing guy on Shake It Up. Right? What's his name? She was dating him, but he was shooting a movie, so he couldn't come to the dinner. But she was like, yeah, he might come. And I was like, what the heck? Like, I watch him on Disney, but he didn't end up going. But I got out of high school and I was on my way to like have dinner with her and my manager, Aris, the like owner of Excel Talent. And me and my boyfriend at the time were on the highway that collapsed in Atlanta. Like, I don't know if it was national news, but it was like news all over the city. And Like, so we had to turn around on this huge, like, ramped up highway that had collapsed. And we were like an hour late to dinner or more. And so that was crazy. Yeah, but yeah, so that's how I got like all those plays was Ditto dance to my song, Bones, with Pop and John and like Marquise Scott. Like Marquise is still signed. His name is like Nonstop. That's like his dancer name. And I don't know if you saw that video of Pumped Up Kicks. Like this was going viral in like 2010 or 2011 or something. And it was
video, the actual video.
Not the video for Pumped Up Kicks, but the video of Marquise dancing. He was dancing. He was doing like, stuff. He was doing that to the song Pumped Up Kicks. And like, I could look up how many views it has right now. I'm pretty sure it's got like 250 million views or something crazy like that. But yeah, he's signed to his agency as well. But I was RS's only music artist. So he put like all of his focus into me. And that's why Bones got a bunch of plays.
Yeah, I seen a couple people did covers for it too. That's lit.
Mm-hmm. And that's why there's so many dancing videos of it, is because of the dancers like dancing to that song, you know.
How did you feel when you seeing multiple people do like covers to your song?
It feels unreal because it's like, is this even real? Because all of it's happening online, right? Like when it happened, I was like, I don't even know, because it's not like in front of you. It's like on your phone or it's on the computer. And then you have like random cousins that you've never met that are like, I did a project on your song. I'm related to you. And I'm like, that's so cool. And I'm like, I've never met you, but that makes my heart so happy. Like it feels, it's like very proud. Like, I don't know. It's really cool. It's really hard to describe that feeling, but it's like a really, really like happy, that's awesome feeling. I don't know.
It's hard to describe.
Yeah. Just like a really, really positive, like giddy, happy feeling.
My next question related to the Bone song, because like your music is really poetic. Do you write your own music? I'm pretty sure you do. And if you do, where did the inspiration come from?
Yeah, I write all my own music. I have since I was little. I prefer to write my own music, but I'm not opposed to working with other people. Like I really want to work with Devin soon. I want to do a song with him. He's like we call each other our music twin here in Lufkin. We're like each other's music twin. But I'm just usually by myself whenever the songs come to me. I'll either hear a melody. Sorry, I'll either hear a melody, or I'll have like an idea that I want to express. Like I never have to force it though. If I have to force a song, then I'm not meant to write it. But yes, I have worked with other writers. I don't think I've released anything. No, I take that back. The last two that I released, Out of the Woods and Finally Breathe, Jordan Case co-wrote with me. He's really cool because he does like video stuff for Lil Yachty. Like he's like this crazy good videographer in Atlanta. But yeah, he also produces music, and so we were working together, and he helped co-write those songs. But besides that, I have written all my own songs. But I always tell people when I explain it, they're like, "How do you write a song?" I'm like, I'm just like a medium. I'm a medium for the music. It's like the sound or the words are there in front of me, and I'm just grabbing them and like making them hearable and putting them down. Like they already exist in the universe somewhere, and I'm just like translating it for everyone to hear, because I never have to force it, and it's like it just comes out like that. The last song that I released, I tried, like I wrote that in one take. I wrote that in like 3 minutes. So, and I got it all on camera too, because I was like, I'm about to write something good, and I wrote it all at one time. So yeah, usually I write songs really, really quickly, and I just hear them.
You had mentioned that you did some anthems for the NBA games. Tell me more about that.
Yeah, so it was actually kind of cool because I've made eye contact with LeBron James. So that's kind of cool. That was whenever I I don't remember like what teams were playing. This was a long time ago. This was like 2018. But he was playing, and I was in Charlotte, and I was doing the anthem for the Charlotte Hornets. I did it for them like 3 times. So I was singing it there, and I had like already sang. And then of course he saw me sing because all the basketball players line up like this. And these guys are so tall. Like, I know that you're like, duh, they're tall, they're basketball players, but I'm 5 foot. Like, I'm literally 5 foot. So they're like almost double my height. And I'm like this little girl, like in this like big dress. And my heart is in the middle of the stage. And like all these basketball players on both teams are lined up like this, like both facing on opposite sides towards my harp and towards me. And I'm just walking out like this. And the feeling when you see giants staring at you, like famous giants, and you're like, yeah, I'm about to play the harp for you and sing, is like insane. Like I got so nervous, but I did it anyways. But like there's videos online about it if you want to like watch them. But that was crazy. And I did it more for the Hawks. And that was because my manager, Aris, with Excel Talent, he managed the dancers for a while, the Hawks dancers. So he he knew the people that like helped me get in that, have the ability to do that. So, and then they liked having the harp. They hadn't ever had anybody do it with a harp before. I don't know if anybody's ever done it with a harp. I mean, I'm sure someone has, but so they kept asking me back. So I don't know how many times I did, but I would say probably like 15. I mean, I do want to mention too, like someone that's been helping me, Phoenix, someone that's been helping me a lot around here now, now that I'm like older, I quit music and then I started music again. And someone that has been helping me a lot here that I definitely want to mention and say thank you to, his name is Joe Cuellar. And he is a local performer here, and I'm helping him. I'm trying to teach him how to record so he can get some songs released because he's very talented. He's really, really talented. And just when you hear him sing, his voice just really touches you. But I just want to give a shout out to him too, because he's been helping me get gigs around here and having me play with him at shows, which is getting more people to hear me and getting me paid gigs around town. And I just think he's an amazing person. So I just want to say, shout out to Joe Cuellar. He's awesome. So, okay, so this story is at the penthouse of the Four Seasons Hotel in Atlanta. And this is just a really cool story. I was trying to just think of stories that I could talk about that would be good for your podcast, that would be interesting, that I haven't told that many people. Because I was just yapping about this. If you meet me in person, so people have known me for 2 years that have not known that I did music. You know what I'm saying? I don't just be talking about this stuff. That's not the kind of person that I am. But I just think these are really cool stories, and it would be a shame if I didn't share them because I think they're really interesting. But so this one's at the penthouse of the Four Seasons Hotel in Atlanta. And the guy that I met, the guy that was a billionaire, his name was Rick Baker. And he was the VP of Merrill Lynch. So he was he had a lot of money. He lived in he owned, I don't know if he owned it or really did it, but he lived in the house of the Four Seasons. So I had dinner with him. And Aris had set this up, my old manager. And I had dinner with Rick, and I had dinner with Phil Tan. Now, Phil is also a really, really cool guy. He's the top 1% in the industry. He's done stuff for Coldplay, Ariana Grande. I mean, I'm trying to remember. I sent you a list of names. But he's done anybody.
Katy Perry, Lil Yachty, definitely said a lot of places.
He mixed Firework by Katy Perry. Name a person that doesn't know that song. Name a person. So I had dinner with him. At the Four Seasons Hotel. And this guy, his name is Phil. And super humble guy. Super quiet. He's really, really nice. He's this very quiet, humble. He's Asian. So I feel that's just in his culture is to be very respectful, quiet, humble. Just a very sweet, down-to-earth guy. You would never know. Like you would meet him and you'd never know. So I had dinner with him, Rick, and Aris, my own manager. And so we had talked about like, plans for music, because I'm pretty sure I was 17 and I kind of didn't fully understand everything that was going on at the time because I was a kid. But I'm pretty sure we were like meeting with him to try to get Rick to like invest in my like music. And so the dinner went well. I mean, we just talked about music and stuff. And then I can't remember, I think it was the same night he had that like party in the penthouse. He had like a charity event, and it was for like the Latino community because he just had adopted a Latino like 15-year-old. And so I don't like remember what the event was or anything. Like I said, like I was so young. I mean, I guess 17 isn't like so young, but I was still a kid, and it was a while ago. But yeah, he had this event, and I was going to play the piano for it, and I did play the piano for it. But he wanted me to play this song. It was Come Together. And I did have the song ready, and I did like eventually play the song, but there was one song that I was supposed to play for everybody at the party. And instead of playing that song, which Ars told me to do, he was like, he wants you to play this one song. I was like, I've always been very rebellious. I did not play that song for the one song, which was a mistake on my part. But again, I was a kid. I played one of my own songs that I had written.
Why didn't you want to play the song?
Oh, no, I mean, I did play the song. I love the song. It's just that I really wanted to play my own song. So.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Yeah, so I played my own song. It was called Red Sun. It's not out. I might record it, but it's not. I would have to go find it. I have like hundreds of songs in my life that I could go back and find and record, but I don't know if that'll be one of them that I'll do. But I played that one. And then later on, I played Come Together. To my knowledge, Rick didn't like that. I think that's what happened. Because the investment didn't work out. He said I was like too risky or something, which I get at the time. Like now things are different. I know how to produce my own music. And so no one's in control of me now. Like I don't have to get other people's help to make music. I can do it all by myself. So that's why I started again. And that's like the joy of it for me, is that I'm like in control of it all. But it's kind of funny too, because his son had like, the guy that he adopted had like asked my manager for my number or something, but I had a boyfriend at the time, and so I'm a loyal girl. I was loyal, and we didn't give him my number. But like thinking back on it and how everything went with that relationship, I was like, maybe I should have given him my number. But oh well. But that's cool. And he had a parrot too, which made me like him. Rick, he had a parrot. That was cool. And he was obsessed with hourglasses. He had hourglasses everywhere. And he like sat me down and told me the story. It was something about like his dad had like, I can't remember the exact story. I really wish I could. That'd be so awesome. But I think his dad had told him something about hourglasses that had meant a lot to him. And so he had like this very large collection of hourglasses. But yeah, that was cool. That was super cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
And through him is when Clive Davis came asked for your song lyrics, or that was another situation?
Okay. So I actually don't know how that happened. All I know is that this was after I graduated high school, and I was like working for Aris for a bit. Just like he was paying me to do like music stuff because like my parents wanted me to get a job before I went to college. So he was basically just paying me to do like my own stuff. But like Aris is like my second dad. Like you have to understand, me and him have a special relationship. I've known him since I was like 12 or 13. And like I just talked to him for like an hour, like 2 days ago. Like me and Aris were still very close, and he still wants to help me, and that's really cool. So when I like had graduated high school, I like took a gap year, and then I went to college. But during that gap year, Aris like gave me like a little paid job, because it was just good to have. Like my parents wanted me to have it, and it was good. So this is how the Clive Davis thing happened. Now I wasn't there when he called, okay, Like, I don't have any proof of it, but Aris told me one day I came into his office to go do my little music work on my own stuff. He was like talking about Beauty and the Wreckage, and he was like, yeah, Clive Davis called the office asking for the lyrics to Beauty and the Wreckage. And I was like, what the hell? Like, that was really cool. But that's all I know about that. Like, I wish I had more context to it, but like Aris just like told me that one day, and I was like, that's really cool, because that's like around the time that song came out was when I was like 19, and I had like, I think, and then yeah, before like I went to college. So
That's lit. That's lit.
mm-hmm.
How shortly after that did you go on to American Idol?
So
how did that whole thing all come about?
Yeah. So when I went on American Idol, so the American Idol thing. So I think they had reached out to me when I was like a little bit younger, but I can't remember like the timeline, but I'm pretty sure they had reached out to me before, and me and my manager had talked about it, and we were like, no, that's not a good idea, because, you know, the contracts for those shows are bad. People always say, I always heard artists say that if you win second place on that show, you won the show. If you win the show, you won the show, but you didn't win the show, because you get locked into like the worst contract. You know, they like own you. They own you. They get all the money, and they keep you from releasing stuff. And they can just basically, I mean, they can basically ruin your career as an artist if they want to. But they had reached out to me before, and we were like, no, I'm not going to do it. And then they reached out to me when I was like 19, and I was working on my Blue Love EP at the time with Les Hall. And Les is the musician. Like, I want to say he's the musician that I personally know, like personally have met and worked with, that I probably respect the most. He's a genius, mad scientist genius, like crazy, like just complete. He has synesthesia. I think it's synesthesia. It might be synesthesia, but it's where you like see sounds, and it's a proven thing. It's like all the people that have this, they see the same color for the same note. Like, you could put them in separate rooms and be like, so what color is F? And they would say, like, I forgot what color F is, but they would all be like green. Like, it's like a proven thing. And it's actually it's a genetic mutation between your amygdala and your hippocampus, where your hippocampus is where you like process memories, and your amygdala and vision, and your amygdala is where you process emotions and color and feelings. And so it's like these two parts of your brain are connected to where you process music and you see it, because it goes in from like where you're perceiving it into your amygdala, and then you see a color. So I think that's very interesting. It's a genetic mutation some people have, and he has it. So he's very gifted. And he plays guitar. He's the lead guitarist of Crossfade, the band Crossfade. So like, I wouldn't say like everybody, but like pretty much everybody knows the band Crossfade. Like, they in the 2000s, they were a really big band. I think they had a song on Rock Band too. They were really big. But I went over to his house one day to record some videos on a grand piano, and he sat there for like the whole 6 hours and listened to me play. And every song he clapped. Like, I was like, you don't have to sit here for the whole 6 hours, but he wanted to, so he sat there and he clapped after every song. And then he said, do you want to make some songs together? I didn't know who he was. I really didn't, but I said yes. Pretty much try to say yes to, especially at the time, because I didn't really have like a main producer. So I said, yeah. And then I learned who he was, and I was like, yeah. So we made the Blue Love album, and I was working on the EP. So I was working on the Blue Love EP at the time, and then American Idol reaches out during that. And I was like, you know what? I kind of do want to do it. Like, I'd be kind of like, I would regret it if I said no. And Les tried to tell me not to go, and Aris tried to tell me not to go. But it was one of those things where I was like, I just want to do this. Like, I grew up watching American Idol on the floor when I was little, with my parents behind me sitting on the rug. Like, I wanted to do this since I was a kid. Like, I want to do it. So I said yes.
It's like you want to do for you. It's like,
yeah. And they had So they had an online audition. So this is what I tell people: the cattle calls are fake. Like the cattle calls on the show, I feel like nobody knows this for some reason. Like maybe they just keep it under wraps. Like I don't know if I'm gonna get allegedly the cattle calls are fake. I have to say allegedly because I don't know. Like I really don't even I don't care. I don't care what happens. I'm doing what I want now. I don't care. But just in case, I don't want to get sued. So allegedly the cattle calls are fake. But they reached out to me. They reach out to artists. That's what they do. They reach out to artists, and there was an online audition. I did the online audition, and it went well. Then they had another audition after you got past that in Nashville with the producers, but this was in person. It's in Nashville, and I did that audition. And I got past that. I played Midas Love. I blew it out of the water. I had my keyboard. I did amazing. I have a picture of the little pamphlet with my name on it. And then after that, I went to Savannah, Georgia for the one that you see on TV with Katy Perry, Lionel Richie. I believe it's actually Luke Bryan. But previously, I thought it was Blake Shelton, but it's actually Luke Bryan. I actually looked it up. I mean, you would think I would know, but I really don't listen to country. I'm not hating on country. Like, I do like some country. I just don't know country singers like that. You know what I mean? But, so I'm in Savannah, and I mean, I'll get to the point. Like, I'll get to the reason why.
You good. Tell your story. You good.
Thank you for understanding. I'm long-winded. I'm sorry.
You good.
Okay. Well, so there's a reason why I don't tell this story, and I'll get to it. And I'm just going to say, like, trigger warning for, like, the viewers if y'all, like, don't want to hear anything about, like, domestic violence. Maybe, like, skip ahead to, like, whatever time he puts, because I'm going to be talking about that. So I'm in Savannah, and, you know, it's time to do the real first one that's on TV. And they have 2 days. They had 2 days of it, and they have like 40 people the first day and then 40 people the next day. Because they go to different cities for these. So for Savannah, they had like 80 people. Mine was supposed to be on the first day, but I chickened out and I got scared and I just didn't go. Because I have really bad stage fright. Like the first 4 pageants that I did when I was little, like my parents, they used to have me perform because they knew I was talented, but I was like, I hated the performing part, but I love the music part. I just have really bad stage fright. The first 4 pageants I did, I cried and ran off stage. And then I finally like got the hang of it because I was like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And then I went to the judges table and like sang for them. And that's how I like overcame the stage fright, I guess. But so I chickened out the first day, the day that I was supposed to go. And then I was with my like partner at the time, like my boyfriend at the time. And he had convinced me like, no, if you're here, you need to do it. And honestly, I knew deep down that I was already there and I'd come this far and I probably need to do it. So somehow, I don't know if I texted the producer. I think the producer texted me like, hey, where are you? And then she called me. And because I wasn't responding, I'm pretty sure that's it. But so we got on the phone somehow, and she was like, look, you can come tomorrow, but you better be here. Don't do this again. And I was like, okay, I will be there. I'm sorry. I got, and that was my shtick too, was that I have anxiety. That was my, like, you know how you have to have a story to go on the show? That was my like shtick. So I was like, I guess it kind of went with the show I guess that's maybe why they still let me do it. But, so I was going to go the next day, and I did go the next day, and I was so nervous, but I was like totally like having more anxiety than normal just because of like what had happened, and I'll get to that. So I'm in the audition, and I'm supposed to play the piano, and I'm sitting there at the piano, and I'm so scared that like I'm shaking like this, and my fingers don't work. Like I literally like cannot press the keys down. Like I'm frozen. And Katie, I like try a couple times, and then Katie was like, all right, hold on. And then she's like, go over to the X and sing a cappella. And I said, okay, I'm really sorry. I'm just nervous. And then, so I'm standing there on the X, and I sing the song Lies by Marina and the Diamonds, and I killed it. Like, I sang that song the best I had ever sang it. Like, I was like, I cannot believe that just came out of my vocal cords right now. And I did really, really good. And it like the look on the judges' faces was just like, whoa. And so like I started crying because when they said like that I had done really good or something, like they said yes. They had all said like I got 3 yeses. And then I started crying and I was like bawling and my face was red and I was like, I mean, it was kind of embarrassing. I mean, I wasn't that embarrassed, but like I was crying a lot and my face was really wet. So in that, like for that reason, I'm kind of glad they didn't air it because I was like kind of a mess. But Lionel, he told me, he was like, come here. He's like, why are you crying? So I go over to him and then he gives me a hug. Like I got a hug from Lionel Richie. That's so cool. But he gives me a hug. He's like, why are you crying? Like, why are you bawling? And I was like, it's just like, I'm just so nervous. My producer and my manager, like, they didn't want me to come and I wanted to come. And so I came and it's just, you know, it's a lot. Like, and then I got 3 yeses and I'm just really happy. And I just have a lot of anxiety, but I'm really happy. And he was like, listen, if you don't get nervous as an artist, then you're not every artist gets it gets easier over time with practice, but you're always going to be a little bit nervous. And I was like, okay. So it kind of made me feel like normal. And then Katie, and then I walked around to the front of the table, and Katie was wearing like a palm tree suit, like with palm trees on, and she like handed out the golden ticket like this. She said, you know what your producer and your manager can't give you is a golden ticket. And then I grabbed it and I was like, that's true. I was just playing along. Like I love my producer and my producer at the time. I have like multiple I love all my producers. But I was just kind of going along with it. And I was happy. And then they had a legal exam and they had a psych exam, and I passed the legal exam no problem. Saying that I'm perfect, like got in trouble before. But like everybody has, like most people have. And then 2, like the psych exam was the part that I believe is why I didn't get to go to Hollywood. And so this is like where trigger warning, I'm about to talk about it. So like the night before, I was dating kind of like a physically abusive person at the time, and it happened really gradually. Like I kind of didn't like realize it until it was like, oh wow, like that was bad, you know? It was like really gradual. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that. Like I've told people, they're like, why didn't you leave sooner? It's like, because it doesn't start right away. Like if it had started right away, then I would have like not been around them anymore. But then I got attached to them, and then it was like 6 months in, and then it was like, oh, you just like held my arms down. Like, is that abuse or is that not abuse? You know what I mean? But that particular night was the worst thing that had happened. And this was when I knew I had to leave him. The night before, he choked me until I passed out. And we were in the hotel room. He like choked me and then I like passed out and then he left. And then like I went and hid in the bathroom and he like came back and I guess he had calmed down or whatever. But at some point, like he got me to come out and then sleep. And then it was like, the next day was the audition, so it was like we just didn't talk about it. And in the psych exam, I was still like in a very like hyper anxious state just from the whole day and what had happened and everything, and like getting 3 yeses, like a bunch of emotions. And I just kind of he asked me questions. Like this guy's a doctor, he's a psychologist, he knows how to get stuff out of people, and he was assessing my psychology. And basically like I had ended up like telling him what had happened, and I don't know why I did that. And like I kind of kick myself for it, but at the same time it's like I don't, because I know it's not my fault. But I'm pretty sure that's why I didn't get to go, because whenever he had walked me out of the room, the doctor had like given me a hug, and like his face kind of looked like he felt sorry. But he walked me out of the room. His face kind of looked like he had like felt bad for me, you know? Like I could tell by the look on his face that he was like, you know? So I'm pretty sure that's why I didn't get to go. And then 2 months went by and they didn't tell me. I was still waiting on like a call because they're supposed to like email you plane tickets to go to Hollywood. And I never really got it. And I didn't want to annoy the producers, but I did. I called them a couple times. I finally, I got a call back. And the producer was like, we don't have you on the list, but we heard that you are really, really talented. And like, we're really sorry that we don't have you on the list, but like, you're really, really good, but we don't have your tickets. And I was like, damn, like, so that's what happened. That's what happened with that. But I'm talking about it. I've never talked about it before.
Feel bad for you, man. Everything happened for a reason, though. Everything definitely happened for a reason.
That's what I'm saying.
You probably could have got wrapped in, like you were saying before, prior, like, the contracts and everything. You probably would have got locked into something that you didn't want to, but you still got what you wanted. You got the opportunity to be there. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So you kind of got the best of both worlds, I guess, if you want to think of it that way.
Yeah, and that's how I do think of it. And like, this happened so long ago. This was 6 or 7 years ago at this point, something like that. That it's like it doesn't affect me anymore. It's like I can talk about it and be like not upset. Like I'm not upset. But it's like I can't tell the story. I can't tell people like I got a hug from Lionel Richie and Katy Perry gave me a golden ticket without them asking like, okay, well, why did you go? Well, if you have already answered, why did you go? It's like, I literally have to tell, like, I can't, there's no way to get around that. And I'm tired of not talking about it. I'm tired of not telling people my story because I think it's cool and I want to tell people. And so that's why I'm like publicly talking about it so that it's out there and I've done what I want to do. And I want to talk about it and I want to explain like why I didn't go,
You said you're not signed to the label no more, right?
No, I'm independent now because I quit for a couple of years when I moved to Texas when I was 23. I quit because I couldn't find a producer around here.
Right.
And then like I went through a really like bad breakup. It wasn't contentious. It just made me really sad. Like we left on good terms, but it just made me really sad is all. So like I kind of I threw myself into music after that because I was like, I need something to like divert my like energy to now. And besides school, like I said, like I'm getting my master's in like counseling because I want to help kids with behavioral issues. Like I volunteer. Like I have these 2 like foster kids that I see every other week and I'm like a court advocate for them. And there's other stuff that I do, and I have a job, like I'm a waitress, but I needed something that like gave me that like feeling of like passion. And so music was that. But there's no producers around here, like I said. So I started taking lessons with a professor at a local college that teaches production. And he actually did the music for the SpongeBob Fortnite map, which is cool. Like everybody plays Fortnite. Yeah, he does video game music. And how random that I would meet him in like the middle of nowhere in this little town. So he's teaching me. I go every Friday. And I show him every new song that I have, and he helps me tighten it up. And then I'm going to re-record the vocals whenever I get the album produced. And then I'm going to get it mixed and mastered, and I'm going to release it.
So you want to stay independent, or can you see yourself signing to like another label? Like, I mean, if the option is there and the contract is right.
It truly depends on the deal. Like, I've been offered a couple deals, but I didn't sign them because they didn't work in my favor. One of them, I really can't say the name. It's a cool person. He's a cool connection, but I feel like I'll burn a bridge. One of them offered me a deal, but it was like $100,000 signing bonus. And I think I was 22 at the time. And I was still working on my Blue Love album, 21 or 22. And like, it's cool. Like, that's a cool bonus, right? But in the contract, it said, oh, but you can only work with us you can't release your Blue Love EP. I have been working on that for a year and a half, but you can't release your Blue Love EP, and you have to buy every record you make with us. And every record is $10,000. So you can only work with us. And so that's 10 songs, $10,000, and I can only work with you. What the hell am I supposed to do? Like, that's an ass deal. Like, that's a bad deal. Like, so I didn't sign it. So I actually have like a lot of stuff I could talk about with this side of me. I've always had like a lot of like compassion for people. And that's actually why I love music, because sometimes I feel like it's hard to connect with people, especially nowadays, on like just a human like basis, you know? And I feel like that's what like heals. Like there's this famous psychologist that said the absence of addiction is connection. And like human connection. And I think that's so true. And that's why I started writing music in the first place, was because it filled that up for me. It filled up like some way to like connect with other people and to help them. And so like I try to help my community. I do volunteering and stuff like that. And I'm what people call a CASA advocate. So a court appointed special advocate. And there's CASA places all around. I remember there was one in Atlanta that I went to like a ball for one time, and my family like sponsored it or something, which was really cool. But it's like where you have foster kids, or you have kids that are in the system. Like they might have like a placement with like a relative or something, but they're still in kind of like the foster system in a way. Like they're in the court system basically. And so I have two of them, and I can't like, due to like HIPAA laws, you know, I can't really like talk about it too much. But like my particular case, the parent had like a drug problem basically, and they got taken away. So I basically, I see them like every other week. Like I usually go to their school. I go to their house sometimes, and sometimes I'm in court, like telling the judge about like how they're doing, what I think they need, if they need counseling, if they need assessed for ADHD. And it lines up with my degree really well. So I think it's just, and I love kids. I want to be a child counselor. So that's, I don't know, it makes me feel like good inside, you know, that's why I do it. And I was gonna say something else. Oh, I'm the youth chair at church too, so I like help plan events for like spring fling. It's kind of like a kids thing with face painting and stuff like that. Like I'll help plan events like that. And I like we had youth Sunday the other weekend, and like I helped lead it. We had a few baptisms, and I like did the welcome, and I sang a song with one of the kiddos, and that was cool. But yeah, I love like giving back to the community and stuff. And when I was still in high school, I was 18. I wrote a paper. I went downtown to Atlanta and I interviewed homeless people. And I just kind of like wanted to know more about like what they go through in like their life and basically the stigma. And I wrote about this in my paper. Like when I told the class, like my plan, I'm like, I'm going to go to Atlanta. I'm going to interview them. I'm going to get their side of the story. They were like, oh, bring like protection, you know, like bring like your dad, or bring something to make sure you're safe. And I was like, see, this is literally the problem. Like, I get what you're saying, but like that's part of the stigma. And yeah, my dad went with me, but duh. But I had asked them, and they basically had told me like, how are we supposed to stay in the shelter and get a job when we're supposed to be back by 5 p.m. and we have to have a job? Oh, well, we can't be back by 5 p.m. So they want us to get housing, and then they want us to have a job. You can't have both at the same time. And people don't know that. And then people just like get mad at them. A lot of them are veterans with PTSD. One of them was deaf and blind. Like he could barely hear, and he was completely blind. And it's like people look at these people and they're just like, I don't know, they just shame them, or they just look at them in a certain way. And it's like, that's not right. You don't know them. Like they are individuals. So I wrote about it in my paper, and it actually got published in Clayton State's textbook. And then other people like had to like write papers over my paper. And so I thought that was really cool. Like I won an award for it and stuff. Like one of them, I was going to the studio one day to record downtown, and a homeless person held an umbrella over my head and gave me a daffodil. And I was like, I wish I had like a couple dollars to give him, but I didn't. But he was completely nice. He was like, "Oh no, it's okay." Like he just walked with me with an umbrella because it was raining and gave me a flower. Walked me to the studio and was just completely kind. I just, yeah, like I have a lot of compassion for my community.
I know you probably focus more on your own album right now, but
Yeah.
if it's any artist out now like that, you if you had the chance to work with them, like Katy Perry, any of them type of artists, like what's the list of those artists that you would work with if you could, if you had the option to?
Okay. If Amy Winehouse was still alive, I would flip to work with her.
I felt like you was gonna say Amy Winehouse.
So much. I just really feel like I get her. Florence Welch. I love her. If I could work with her, I would like die happy. Like I'd be like, okay, it can't get any better than this. Like life can't get any better than this. I'm good now. I love Florence Welch. Like she made me want to be a singer. And I'm like, oh, Tame Impala. Like he's been collabing with like a bunch of different types of people. I'm pretty sure he made a song with like Lil Yachty or something like that. Someone. I'm like, that's cool. I would love to work with Tame Impala. Oh, if he used my voice in like one of his songs, I would like die. I'm trying to think if there's anyone else. There's probably a lot. Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I love them.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I love. Mallrat too. She's like more underground, but I love her. Yeah, and then Devin, of course, but Devin's local, and I know I'm gonna work with him. So I'm just like I'm thinking like big stars here, but yeah, that's probably who I can think of off the top of my head.
And then the next 5 years, what would you like to see yourself in your career? Well, outside of your career, and then outside of your career, what would you like to see yourself in the next 5 years?
Yeah. Okay. So it's kind of an interesting question because I like thought that music was going to be like my one and only career for like 10 years of my life. Like since I was like 12, even before that, really, like my whole life, music has always been like I've just been gifted. Music has always been like what my gift is. But whenever I guess towards like the end of college, I started like volunteering at the Boys and Girls Club, and I was like the president of like a research group that we studied like intelligence testing, and we were interviewing the kids at the Boys and Girls Club of Metro Atlanta to get like their opinion on like the biases of like gifted talents in classes and intelligence testing. And so working with those kids for like 2 years, I saw them every Thursday, like made me realize how much I love kids. And that's where I switched kind of my focus from general counseling to like, I want to work with kids. And then I moved to Texas. I was like, well, I guess just music isn't like my thing because like I have to move. And so I just kind of focused on school and a relationship. I was like, all right, I guess it's time to grow up. I really just thought like, oh, I guess my dreams just didn't happen. It's fine. So I just kind of switched gears and I was like, I'm going to be a child counselor and I'm going to like get married and have a family. And, then like I went through that like really hard breakup or whatever. And then I'm producing my own album now, which I didn't even think was possible until a few months ago. But my career for music, like I have to do it for the passion of it because when I was a kid, I was like doing it for like the career of it as well as the passion. And I feel like it stifled me and it like kind of crumpled my passion in a way because it like paralyzed me because it was like I was so afraid of failure. Then I started producing my album and I didn't realize that was a possibility until like a few months ago. But now like I see my career as like I'm still in school. Like I'm like halfway done with my master's degree. So I'm gonna finish that, but if my music blows up because of how passionate I am and like everything that I'm putting into it, the energy, the effort, the love, like my entire like soul and spirit is going into my music. Like if it blows up, that's great. and I will
Right.
do that. And I will be like, that'll be what I do. But if it doesn't happen, then it's like, okay, well, I'll just be a child counselor and I'll do music for fun forever. I will never stop doing music. Like, even if it's like, it takes me a little bit longer to make an album, I'm always going to make music because I can do it myself now. I don't need anybody else to do it. Like, so that's the beauty of it. If it blows up, great, but there's not the pressure of it. So there's no pressure of like, I need to succeed. Kind of takes the fun out of it for me.
Right. So you engineer yourself and everything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So I produced my album like in my bedroom, and my producing teacher, I'm going to re-record the main vocals in like a proper studio, just because, you know, the quality in a proper studio is like, they have $10,000 mics like this. I have a $300 mic like that. There's no way I can get that in my room. So I'm going to re-record the main vocals like in the studio and have my producing teacher engineer it. His name is Travis Waddingney. He also, like, if y'all want to take lessons or reach out to him for like music or video game music, whatever, like, I'm sure, you know, we'll have his like name or whatever. I'll send that too. But he's going to engineer my vocals, and then I'm going to get those ready. And like, I'm going to have the stems to my vocals, and I'm going to have the stems to what I've produced. And then I'm going to send it over to get it mixed. And I've had like, I kid you not, like I've had like 10, like, or 12 people reach out to me that do mixing that have been like, I want to mix your album. And so I've got like a list of people that have reached out to me that want to mix it. And I'm like, just send me like a reference track, send me a playlist. And whenever I'm done producing my album, I'm going to go through and pick who I want to mix it, because they're all about like the same price. Like, they give me a really good price, which is awesome because I don't have a lot of money yet. But yeah, I'm excited. I have it like all planned out in my head.
You do like digital art and stuff like that?
I paint, and I feel like I'm pretty like all right at painting. It's not like my main thing, but I do sometimes. And I just do like cool designs, like trippy designs, just like eyes and like symmetrical and like twisting stuff like that. It's fun. It's an outlet for me. Like, I don't really watch TV or YouTube anymore. All I do is music, or like I'm always working. I'm always being productive. But if I ever just want to relax and I need to like stimulate my brain somehow, then I'll paint. Like, I'll paint and like watch something. So
Okay.
yeah. But yeah, AI art, I'm like, I'm not a fan of it. I gotta be honest. Like, I'm just not, because I feel like I feel like it like gets in the way of like artist job. Like, it takes their jobs, I guess. And I'm not a fan of it. But I'm not saying that we should like get rid of AI. I'm just saying like we should put limits on it.
Cause I kind of like, cause I'm working on a comic right now. Like, I do all kind of shit. So I'm working on a comic right now, and I use AI. Like, it helped me with it. You know what I mean? Only thing, it's not consistent. So to get it consistent, you gotta go to like OpenAI and like pay for a bunch of fucking credits to get a consistent character. But other than that, I think it's alright. I don't think it's like the AI itself. I think it's how we use it.
It is. That's exactly right, and I totally agree with you. It's like how we use it, and that's the thing is like, you're writing the comic, so you are creating a storyline like from you. And if you need AI to like help put pictures with that, like, I might give you a pass. I might be like, okay, well, but he created the story or whatever. I know other people might disagree. I mean, I try to not care too much about stuff. You know what I mean? But you're still creating like half of it. Like, the whole thing, you're creating the story, and you just want to put pictures with it. It's like, you know, I get that. Like, I'm not gonna be mad at that. So I write things before they happen. I'm like a prophetic writer.
Okay.
And I know that sounds crazy, but
No,
like,
I don't, because I'm a clairvoyant.
yes, I'm a prophetic writer. I guess it's like a form of clairvoyance. But I write things before they happen. That's why I say I'm a medium. I'm a medium for my music, because I don't force it. It comes to me, and I like write situations and scenarios. Like, there's some moments in there that are very specific, and they will happen like years or months later. How are you a clairvoyant? Because I'm interested now.
So I'm gonna give you a story, right?
Okay.
It's kind of like, most of it was saying like deja vu.
Mhm.
But I'm gonna give you a story, right? So in like 2010, I started having these crazy dreams, right? Where I would get killed in my dream, right?
Yeah.
So I had dreams like this all the time. But this specific time I was getting killed in my dream. So it was crazy, like, you know what I mean? So it was the same way all the time, every night for like 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2012, my older brother actually got killed exactly how I was dreaming it.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's just a story. But like stuff like that happens to me all the time. Like, for example, right? Say, for example, like, man, you start hanging out together all the time. You know my friends, I know your friends.
Mm-hmm.
You can, I could be away from you for a minute, right? And then come around and like you can start to tell me something. And before you can tell me what it is, I can already like get a vivid image of what you're about to say. Like somebody probably stole from you or something. I'm already know, oh, you're about to tell me somebody stole from you.
Wow.
Or you're about to tell me somebody just came home from jail. Or you're about to tell me you just saw somebody. Like, you know what I mean? I could already see it before you say it.
That's really cool. So I'm wondering, like, do you meditate a lot? Like, do you meditate? Are you like in tune with like those like higher frequencies and stuff like that? Because that's how I feel like I get mine from like a higher like frequency and I meditate and stuff.
I don't. I just smoke a lot of weed. But
that probably puts you at a higher frequency too. Then.
I got, like you said, you got ADHD.
Yeah.
I got ADD. So I'm always in my head. I spend more time in my head than outside of my head.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I'm more in touch with myself and the universe than anything else. I don't believe in God and stuff like that.
No, I get it.
I believe in like the universe.
I
I'm
totally
in touch with myself and the universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I totally get it because like I was an atheist so I was a Christian and then I was an atheist and then I was agnostic and then I went spiritual and that's like like the universe and like energies and like stuff around us less than like God. So I am a Christian again, but like I totally get where you're coming from. I feel like there's a lot of like people that are just like, oh, you don't believe in that or this. I'm like, I get everybody because I've literally like been there. So I totally get it. And I believe in like energies and spirit, like spiritual stuff and stuff like that. That's really cool. But like with mine, so I didn't like know that I had this gift like growing up really until there's like a few like instances, and I've also like dreamed stuff before it happened. So like my song Beauty and the Wreckage, we filmed the video in like an old car lot and it has like a bunch of vintage like wrecked cars, and the song is kind of about a car wreck. It's like there's beauty in the wreckage, so it's like a metaphor for a breakup. Now I wrote this song with actually I wrote it like with my producer Kevin, but I wrote like pretty much all of it. And then the months later, like my first love, like me and him break up. He breaks up with me. I was like so upset. Like that was like the worst pain ever. But he breaks up with me and the song's about a breakup. It's like I wrote that before it happened. And then 3 days, it was like a month after he broke up with me, and it was 3 days after we had filmed the music video for Beauty and the Wreckage, I totaled my car. And this was a convertible red Mustang. The top was down, and someone else was driving it, and they flipped it, and it landed upside down. And like, I just remember like waking up with my car upside down, and someone in the back was like, kick the door open or like go, like get out of the car. So I take my foot because the top of the door is on the dirt, like it's on the ground and I'm upside down. So I have to take my leg and I gotta kick the door, and then I crawl out of the car and I'm just standing there like this. And the car is like, my car is like upside down and like the top was off. So it's like a miracle that like no one really got hurt. Like, thank God. I wasn't driving.
You're a little person.
Yeah. And the window, like if you look at like the wreck pictures, the window is like smashed into like the seat. So it's a wonder that like it didn't go into like either one of our heads. But the firefighters show up and the police and like everyone and the cars. It was a whole thing. And so I was like, I wrote that before it happened. And I always wanted a grand piano. And I begged my dad for years for a grand piano. And then I had this dream one night, like that I had a white grand piano. And in the specific moment in the dream, like I put my head down the side of the keys, like, you know, like where the keys, and I like saw the keys like that, like just stretched out along the way. And that was like the specific moment in my dream. And I remembered it. And I had like moments like this before, and I was like, okay, if this happens again, like I'm gonna remember it, and I'm gonna like see if it happens and see if like this is an actual thing or if I'm like if it's just like I'm just imagining. So this was a specific dream that I was like, I'm remembering this. Like it has not happened yet, but I remember this. And then like a year and a half later, I don't really like think about the dream that much, but it's like back there in my head. And then I get a white grand piano. Like my dad, like I found one on Facebook for like free if we just move it. So we moved it to our house, and I looked down the keys like this, like I was admiring it as the first day I got it, and I was like, oh shit, that's the exact moment that I dreamed. That was the exact moment, and it's even happening more now that I've been meditating with this album, because my ex, like he's pretty open about it. So like he went to rehab. I didn't know he was on pills, but he was, and I didn't know. We dated, and then I broke up with him because he was lying about something, and I won't get into that. But then we stayed separated for a few months, and then I like reached out for closure, and then we got back together. And then I was like, okay, like we'll do another chance. And then like that whole time, the second time we were back together, he had been on pills, but I didn't know. And he like lied to me for another 2 months about that. And then he went to rehab, but I was supportive, and I was like, I understand, like, you know, it's addiction. Like, it's like, I get it. Like the counselor side of me is like, I get it. And he broke up with me in rehab.
Nice.
So like I had started this album at the first breakup, like pretty much before the first breakup. Before I first found out he was lying about something, I had started this like a month before. And there's a line in the song that says, I should have known that one, like it's something like, I should have known that one of us would have left. I wish it was me. Like I wish that I was the one that had left. And then I did leave. And then I wrote it before I figured I was lying. I didn't think I was ever going to break up with him. But then whenever he broke up with me in rehab, I was like, what is that line about? Like, wish I had been the one that left? I did. And then he left me. And now I listen to it and I'm like, oh, that's what that line was about. Like, and there's more moments in that. And I tried the last song that I released. There's 3 lines in it. So there's one line that says, but sometimes I hate being the one that fate brings with a gun. And when we were broken up, I had written the song, and like, he didn't know that I wrote the song. The song wasn't out until like a few days ago or something, like a week ago. I don't know. It wasn't out until recently. And in that time period, we were broken up for those couple months. He bought a gun. And I was like, oh, like fate brought him the gun. And I was like, why'd you get it? He's like, oh, just, it's a guy thing. I just have it for fun. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. And then 2 days after he broke up with me in rehab, I had called his mom and I was like, I'm really sad. Like, I'm just really confused. Like, I wish you would give me some clarity on the situation. Like, do you understand what's going on? Because 4 days ago, he was like so happy to be with me. And then she was like, well, Tris, like sometimes people just aren't meant to be together sometimes. And I had written that line before he had broken up with me. I wrote that song before he broke up with me. And that's the exact line that's in the song. People are made to stay together sometimes. The exact quote, word for word, she said. And I've written it already. And then, there's another line in the song. I'm trying to remember what it is.
Don't write about death.
No, it's like I can't control.
Don't ever write about death.
Yeah, that's the thing. People are like, write about me getting rich. I'm like, dude, if I could, I would. Like, I don't control it. It just like, it's like it moves through me. Like, I wish I had the power to be like, whatever I write comes true. But no, it's like something else. It's like moving through me, But yeah, so that happened with I Tried. There's one thing that I specifically do want to say is that I just wrote the song Holding On. And it's like, I'm holding on. I'm waiting for time to heal me, because he reached out to make amends. And I was like, I'm going to write a song about that, and I'm not going to respond and I was like, and it's not that I'm mad. It's just that I can't like handle it yet. Like, I'm waiting for time to heal me. I'm waiting for the door to close before I can talk to you again. And that's what the song is about. And then the song, it says, you creep up to find me, acting like I still know you. And I wrote this a week before this happened. And so this particular thing that happened that lined up with the song was I saw him a week later after I had written this song. Like, he came to my church with his mom. We go to the same church. And I hadn't seen him since he broke up with me. So I go and get communion. I do my communion, and then I go like the other side of the pew. And then he's on this side of the pew, like this is one seat, and he's in line to get it, and I'm like walking back to the pew, and he's on this side and I'm on this side. And he stops at the end of it, and he looks at me dead in the eyes, and I'm at the end of this pew, and we like look up and like make eye contact, and he's like, and he like gives me like a nice little like shy smile, and I just was like, oh, like I wasn't rude, but I was like, dude, like read the room, like, but I was like, I'm still nice. I don't hate him, I don't. But yeah, he did. He creeped up to find me for sure.
Right.
But yeah, I would love to do another interview because I'm sure that more stuff like this will happen. Just because like it just keeps. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
How long do you? When do you expect to drop the album?
So sorry, I'll answer that, but I almost forgot this. This is like the most important one. Okay, I'm so sorry. So in my Blue Love EP, I wrote a song called His Letter to Me, and it wasn't written about anyone. And I wrote this years ago. And in the pre-chorus, it says, I couldn't be sober, thought we should just be over, because two broken people make a whole broken heart. And the break keeps getting deeper, though I love you to the stars, but the longer we're together, the further it breaks apart. And I didn't write that about anyone in particular. And everything in that song kind of lines up with like him. I never really dated a guy with like a drug problem. So, I mean, it just kind of lines up with like the rehab thing. So like it's called His Letter to Me. So that kind of, it also like writing stuff helps me with closure because it just makes sense.
Right.
But I'm sorry, that's all. I just had to say that.
No, you're good. You're good. This is about you. This is your story.
Yes. Yeah, and I've never really had a chance to like explain all of it, so it's nice.
I'm glad you had the outlet.
Yeah, it's great. Like I so appreciate it so much.
I mean, but anytime you want to just randomly come on the podcast and get some shit off, let me know, and you could definitely just we can set it up.
Yeah, for sure, and I'll definitely do it again. Like whenever my album is gonna come out, like I'm for sure gonna do it. Like, but yeah, even before that, maybe.
When are you expecting to drop?
Well, I've got 5 songs done. It took me about school starting soon. I'm trying to think. So maybe 2 more months for all 10 songs, and then that'll be June, July, and then 2 months for probably recording vocals. And this is like I probably won't need 2 months, but just to be safe. I would say around, like, I'll probably be done around the beginning of next year, just because I have to finish producing it, and I have to re-record the vocals, and I have to send all the stems to get mixed, and then I have to approve of the mix for the whole album, and then I have to pay for it, so I have to save up for it, and then I also have to get it mastered, and then after that, it'll come out after that, but I also need to, like, film videos and promo and this and that, so I'd say beginning of next year. There's a lot, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could definitely pull up again before then.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
We could definitely pull up again before next year. Like, I'll be having like different like topics with like what's going on in the music industry and stuff like that. And I'll be wanting like a woman's point of view on certain things. So I'll definitely pull you in and stuff like that.
Yeah, that would be awesome. That'd be really cool. Yeah, I feel like there should be more like women in the music industry. I don't know. I feel like it's like because every producer I've worked with has been like a male. So I think it's cool that I'm like a producer and I'm like a girl because I feel like it's just, I don't know, it's rare.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Like Meghan Trainor.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Yeah, like Meghan Trainor.
The guy that reached out to me that like he was like one of the A&Rs for Meghan Trainor's label. And he was like, send me your songs, and I send him my songs sometimes. And he was like, we want to do with you what we did with Meghan Trainor. And so I'm like, oh, that's cool, because he was like in Meghan Trainor's label. So I still send him.
Go?
I mean, I feel like I just didn't have enough songs ready because I wasn't in control of my own production at the time. So I had to be like, I don't know, work with producers because I work for free because I don't have money to pay them that much. Usually I don't pay them at all because I don't have like a lot of money and they just want to work with me, which is great. But that also means that I don't have a lot of leverage to be like, hey, let's go to the studio. It's got to be like on their time, which I totally understand. They're helping me. So I feel like he expected me to have like more songs than I did. But that's the difference now, is that I can make as many songs as I want. So I'm excited for the future. Right. So, this particular story. Oh yeah, and I met Big Boy in this story. Like half of OutKast. So
Yeah.
I shook his hand.
That's lit. That's lit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so, and by the way, like all these connections are like through my old manager, Aris. He knows everybody, and he's awesome. And like he built me basically my own studio when I was so young. So it's like it was a lot of pressure. Like it was just a lot of pressure. But he's still like a second dad to me. So like he's gonna help me with my like album. He's awesome. So I basically Aris has like these agency parties every year, and I was 18 and they were 21 and up, so I couldn't go unless like my dad was there. So I think like my dad had gone, or that might have been a separate one. I don't think I went with my dad to this particular one. I went to 2. Okay, this one my dad didn't go. Okay, let me start over. So my manager has agency parties every year, and at this particular one, he had asked me to sing at, and I think had just turned 21 or I was 20, but either way, like I went and I was going to sing there. And so like I sang there and I could have done better. Like I was kind of like, dang, like I wish I had done better, but like it was okay, and Big Boy was there. And so he came down and like I shook his hand, and dude is very big. His name does not lie. Like but I'm also 5 foot, so like everyone's big to me. But yeah, so I got to shake his hand, and it was like kind of stunned. Like I was kind of stunned. It was like the same way when I met Ryan Seacrest for American Idol. I didn't even realize it was him. And he was like, "So what are you doing?" And I was in the elevator and I was like singing, and I was so nervous that like my face was I'm so awkward when I'm nervous. And I was like singing, like duh. I was in the elevator with Ryan Seacrest and I didn't say anything else. And then I didn't even realize it was him. And then he leaves to the elevator and I'm like standing there with the like producer that's like transporting me. And I was like, was that Ryan Seacrest? And he was like, I'm so awkward. But okay, so I shook Big Boy's hand. Like I got to meet him, and I was like kind of awkward, and I was like, "It's nice to meet you," and he was like, "It's nice to meet you." And I wish I had like said something else, but I was like shy. But yeah, I got to meet him. I heard CeeLo was there, which he do be like around Atlanta, so I didn't see him. Like I didn't get to meet him, but I heard he was there.
CeeLo Green.
Yeah. And my friend Wix, who's an artist, has actually been in the studio and worked with CeeLo Green, which is really cool. I could like hit him up to be on your podcast. He's got a lot of cool stories.
Yeah. Bring him on up here.
Yeah, he's awesome. He used to be on the Georgia Bulldogs football team. Like he was a football player and he dropped out to do music. I was like, oh, you quit being a football player for UGA to be a musician. That's cool. But he went to high school with me, so we're cool. But okay, so where was I? So CeeLo was there, and then Dallas Austin. Is it Austin's or Austin? I think it's Austin's. Well, Dallas Austin's was there, and I didn't meet him that night, but he saw me perform, and Aris had told me like we're gonna go with him. We're gonna go to his house one day to like have a meeting with him. And this was like while I was working on the Blue Love EP, but my EP wasn't done yet. And so we go to his house, and this was like a week later. And so he has like a red Ferrari in the garage. His house was so cool. It looked like an observatory. And he gave us like a house tour, and the basement was a movie theater. And that's where you go in the garage, and the garage had a Ferrari. You go in the garage, and the basement is the movie theater. And then one wall of the movie theater was glass, and you could see under the infinity pool.
This is on like the ground. I guess it was the ground level because the bottom, but you could see under the pool. It was like glass, and that was cool. And then you go up like a winding staircase, which he also had an elevator in his house. Like, who has that? Like, that's cool. You go up the winding staircase. It's like got cool paintings all down the side of the wall, and then I'm trying to remember if like it's like the top. I think we just like had went up the whole stairs and like went to the top. Like, I don't know if I saw like the middle. I can't remember, but we went up to like the top story, and that's when I saw the elevator. And then there was a white grand piano, and then Dallas like was sitting there, and we were talking, and he was like, "You want to play me some stuff on the piano?" And I said, "Oh, of course, that's why we're here." I was like, "Yes," and of course, I was like, I get like awkward when I'm nervous, so I was like more awkward than that. Like, I'm definitely better than I was now, but like again, at the time, I was like 19, so I was a lot younger. And so I played him some songs. I played him one of my songs that I wrote, and I played him an Amy Winehouse song. I played him Back to Black. I love that one. And I might have played him Rehab. Oh, that's another serendipitous thing I gotta tell you about. But I played him Back to Black, and he was like, hold on. I gotta record this. And he pulls out his phone. He's like, okay, I gotta show some people. Okay, start again. And so I'm singing again. He was like, we could do with you what we did with Amy Winehouse. And I was like, that'd be awesome. I love Amy Winehouse. I was like, yeah, like we could do that. And Dallas, he knows that he's worked with like everybody. I mean, oh my gosh, look him up too. Like, I don't have time to list all the names. He's worked with everybody. But so I think he's worked with Michael Jackson. Like, I literally think he's worked with but anyways, so yeah, so he like really liked it. But then I was supposed to show him the Blue Love EP when me and Les were done with it. And it took too long to finish because Les was working on a film at the time because he's a film composer too. And so it's not his fault. Like, he just was going, like, he was just a very busy guy, and he was going through stuff and stuff like that. And he was working with me for free, so I couldn't push him. And so it just took like a year to finish it. And really, it just took too long because we were gonna show Dallas it, and a year later, so we meet him in the studio that Aris built, and we're showing him. He's like, so what have you been doing this past year? And I'm like, I've been working because I worked at freaking Walmart. Like, I know it's like I have all these crazy stories, but I'm just like a regular person. Like, I don't make a bunch of money from it. Like, I don't have a bunch of money. I just have crazy stories because I feel like I've been so close to that point, but I haven't made it yet.
Well, now you're gonna get there. You got your time coming.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. But if not, it's like I just do it for fun. There's no pressure. We show him. And I was like, I've been working. And he's like, it's better than I thought it'd be. It's actually really good. But, it took too long. So kind of like that didn't work out either, but it's still a cool story. And if you notice, all of these things are pretty much because like I couldn't produce my own music. So it's like now I'm in control of all that. So maybe things will go differently. Right now, I'm working on some dance songs with the Houston Rockets producer, the NBA team. I want to do the anthem there soon. And then, the serendipitous thing, I sang Amy Winehouse's Rehab on a cruise ship one time on my way to Mexico with this like famous piano player. He's in the Guinness Book of World Records. And he is very famous for how good he plays piano. His name is Tim Bowie. And I sang Rehab by Amy Winehouse with him, and I had just released my Blue Love EP, so I told him about it. I find out my show choir teacher from 3rd and 4th grade booked him for a show in Lufkin, in the middle of nowhere. For a show, my show choir teacher from 3rd and 4th grade, this guy that I randomly sang Rehab with on a cruise in Mexico. So
that's crazy.
That's another serendipitous thing because it's called Rehab. Like that's pretty much like why I'm making an album is because of the pain of everything that we've gone through, and like that has to do with it. So I think that's cool.
No, it is.
Yeah.
You're dope. You got some dope stories going on.
Yes, I'm so.
You definitely got an interest in life going on. You're a special person.
Thank you. I really
people like you people gravitate to you. Like, you don't necessarily got to do much.
Well, I just like, I mean, it's really just natural. Like, I never understood people that are mean or like don't want to be nice to people or spread positive vibes because I'm like, why would you like want to be negative? You know, like I understand it, like, because I've been hurt before, but I feel like for me, it's a lot harder to hold on to negative emotions and anger. Like it's harder to hold on to that than to let it go and just try to make the world a better place. Like it's just easier that way. So
Right.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
But once again, before we get off, let everybody know your name and where they can find you at and everything.
Yeah, my name is Tris, Tris, Day, Day, and you can find me like pretty much everywhere if you just search my name, Tris Day. But like Instagram is like Chilled Tris. I think my SoundCloud is Chilled Tris. I don't have much on there, but I have like a few things that are like good on there. Most of my stuff is on Spotify, so that's just my name. Well, most of my stuff is on all streaming platforms, but I mean like my like official released mixed music and everything is like, you know, Spotify, Apple Music, like Tidal, like all the streaming platforms. But my SoundCloud is Chilled Tris. That's just like if you want to listen to unreleased, like random stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
Stay scheming, man. Next time on No Patience Podcast.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Sure.
No patience.